Hello, everyone. Welcome back to part two of my Albert Pike series. And I want to talk to you today about the letter that he wrote, the script, which everybody calls a letter, but it's really just a script that he played out. Okay, it goes like this. He wrote a letter to the Italian Prime Minister talking about how there would be three world wars and what would need to be happen in all three world wars to lead up to one world order, a new world order. You see, this is actually a theory, like a conspiracy that goes around for thousands of years already. It starts back already with the ancient Egyptians. So let me read the letter to you, and I'm going to read to you all three scenarios. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the powers of the Tsars in Russia and making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. The divergence caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the British and the Germanic empires, will be used to foment this war. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy the other governments in order to weaken the religions. The Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascist and the political Zionist. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine. During the Second World War, international communism must be strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which would be the restraint and held back in check until the time when we would need it for the final social cataclysm. Excuse me. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arab world, and political Zionists, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, in other nations, once more divided on the issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horrors will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens, obliged to defend themselves against the world minority and revolutionaries, will exterminate those destroyers of civilization and the multitude delusion with Christianity. Do you all see what's going on here? He actually wrote three letters that writes the entire script of the world wars that we faced. He's written this letter in 1870, 50 years, 30 years before World War One and 80 years before World War Two. This is a complete script. Two of the three of his wars have come already to place, and they took exact place as they stated that it would take place. Everything happened the way that this letter says it would happen. This is not a prophecy. This is a man who wrote the script for the world wars, how to convince the people, how to trick the people, how to make the people get confused. He even uses once again that Christianity is nothing more than an Illuminati tool. This is the Masons for you. You have to understand the Masons are the Illuminati. They are definitely the ones that are taking part in this. And yet, at the same time, while they're causing such chaos, they are actually making biblical prophecy come to pass as well. The funny thing is, he's already written in 1870 this letter with the three world wars in it, and two of them have already come to pass, and now he's going to use the third one, Islam versus the Jews. That's soon to come, okay? If you all would just wake up and realize that you're living inside of a script, that you're playing a role in just a play, you would understand what's really going on. So, with that said, here's the letter. You can all see it on your own screen. Pike's letter to Mancini. But at the same time, let's go over to the Masons. This is the Masonic Temple in Washington, D.C. And currently, the man who wrote this letter, the Albert Pike letter to Mancini, is buried in this temple. So the Confederate general who wrote this letter is in this temple. Today we have people wanting to ban the Confederate flag, ban everything Confederate, ban Dukes of Hazzard, ban the General Lee, get rid of everything that has to do with the Confederate flag. Yet at the same time, the only Confederate general that was ever buried in Washington, D.C. gets to remain where he's buried. Yet you have other people that want to take up Mr. Forrester's grave right now. They're resuming his grave right now and removing him from the town. But yet this asshole, the biggest, asshole of them all, gets to stay safely in his little Masonic temple right here. I call that basically brainwashing the people because the people are so focused on the little trivial things like the General Lee, the Dukes of Hazzard, making sure that that flag gets removed, that you don't even care what's behind it. The man behind the curtains. The man behind the curtains is currently buried inside of this temple. As a matter of fact, it's 9 dead people that rule the world right now today. They're all with their own ideologies that have now continued down the line. But try to understand, folks, you are now currently living inside of a screenplay written by Mr. Albert Pike. He is buried in this temple today, and you're basically just following his script. So wake up, step out of the delusion, step out of the matrix, become one with the world. Don't fall for the mass hysteria, and don't believe that the Illuminati made Christianity. That's a bunch of horseshit. That's another devil's tool to make you not believe in Christianity. You see, Albert Pike even writes in his letters very clearly that he wants to try to destroy the religions. Why would he want to try to destroy the religions if he created them? He would surely know that they would become indestructible if they created them in the first place. Yet they don't fear that. So it's a very clear indication there that they never had anything to do with the religions whatsoever. It's just Satan trying to convince everybody that he made up the religions. It's a big scam on their behalf, and the Masons are known to be scammers. With that said, I just wanted to make this letter very clear that Albert Pike wrote the letter about World War I, World War II. It played out just like he wrote about it. It was 30 years prior to World War I that he wrote the letter, and 80 years prior to World War II that he wrote the letter. And everything played out exactly to his letter, to the T. So know that you're living in a script. This is Wardone's Fire saying, see you all later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.